We're about to enter into the holiday season, holidays that I'm a big fan of. Unfortunately, it is not just a holiday season. It is a holiday season in the context of a continuing pandemic. And I've been trying for weeks now to get people to take that seriously. And I'm beginning to think it's not working. I wanna show you something. This is a little infographic, a little animated infographic that I think might be one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen. Take a look.
Wow.
What you're seeing there is air traffic. There's so many. And it looks like our country is being swarmed by bumblebees.
Wow.
Every one of those is a plane full of hundreds of people, and they are freely mixing from basically every major city in the country. And we still have a couple of days. Those are the people who left for their holiday travel early. There's gonna be some who are gonna be leaving tonight and tomorrow night. And it's a pandemic. And the warnings have been out there, but you see how much faith do you have that people have heeded the warnings of people like the CDC and the damage report? And this is shaping up to be a real dark holiday season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would like to, I know that a lot of the focus is on individual behavior for good reason. But I do also want to focus on not just the lack of leadership that we've seen from Donald Trump. That's a given. We've talked about it in great detail for 10 months at this point in regard to COVID and the spread of this pandemic. But it is kind of difficult to trust in the advice you're getting from your elected officials as those very elected officials proceed to live life as if the pandemic does not apply to them in any way. I mean, you have Gavin Newsom going to Maui to meet up with some lobbyists. You have Gavin Newsom, again, governor of California, going to Northern California to some fancy place called the French Laundry, which I only heard about for the first time last week, to again meet with lobbyists, not wearing a mask, hobnobbing, hanging out. And so when Americans see that from elected officials who tell us that we need to stay home, we shouldn't see our family members during the holidays, of course some of them are gonna scoff at it because people are tired. I'm not justifying the risky behavior, so let me just get that out of the way. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that in order to be a leader, you need to lead. That means doing things that are difficult. That means leading by example. Yeah. So if you're hanging out, okay, if you're the governor of New Jersey and you're out with your family eating dinner, on the same day that you tell your constituents that they need to sit their asses at home and not see their families during the holidays, it's hypocrisy at its finest. You need to lead by example. And we're not seeing that by our elected officials across the board. I'm not just talking about Democrats, I'm not just talking about Republicans, across the board.
I think you're 100% right. And especially when we know that people are looking for an excuse to not care anymore. And tons of them have been provided with that from almost day one by the right wing. But even some people who don't consider themselves Trump fans, it is very difficult. And so they've been looking for reasons to think that it's not a big deal. And those sorts of things, every one of these powerful, well-connected Democrats who finds ways that it doesn't have to apply to them, that sends that signal. And even worse, really, because I don't know where Gavin Newsom lives. I don't know what his house looks like. And yet I kind of do. I think we all have a pretty good idea that it's pretty sweet, right? He's been holed up during the pandemic the way we have, but not really, because I bet it's a pretty nice place. And still he feels he has to go out to Maui, which I'm sure is lovely. I've been to Maui. That's the one big trip I've taken in my life. Really liked it. Don't need to go during a pandemic. And I honestly think that the people of Hawaii would prefer if you stop bringing your coronavirus to their island. But it is happening, people are traveling. As the BBC put it, it's an agonizing Thanksgiving dilemma facing millions of Americans, but it's not though. Sure, it's Thanksgiving, it's a holiday. It's another holiday where we would love to get together and eat, which is pretty much what every holiday is about, but you don't have to do it. You know what's agonizing? being on a ventilator is agonizing. You know what's agonizing? Losing your loved one is actually agonizing. Not being able to like sit across from another person while they pass you cranberry sauce is unfortunate. But you can still FaceTime them, you can still Zoom or whatever, you can do that. And you can live to have dozens of Thanksgivings in the future. And so there's still a couple of days. Maybe there's some people that are watching this that think, I love John. John's great. His advice is great, but he doesn't understand. It's different for me. My family takes it more seriously. And I hope for your sake that they do. But in case they don't, let me make one final pitch. You may not trust me and you may not trust some of the numbers, but there's a great tool that I just came across this morning. You can Google the COVID-19 Event Risk Assessment Planning Tool, the COVID-19 Event Risk Assessment Planning Tool. And what this is it lets you look on the county level across the entirety of the US, and it gives you the odds that in a family gathering of 10 individuals, what are the chances in your county that one of those 10 will have COVID? Just as a random chance. And so I decided I will use my own life as an example for you. So if I decided here in LA to have a gathering of 10 people, what are the chances that one of us would have COVID? 53%, slightly more than 1 in 2. But the thing is, I've had Thanksgivings in multiple parts of the country because I have different relatives in different parts. Maybe LA is just like really rife with coronavirus. Well, what if I went to my in-laws down in the valley in Texas? That's a 50% chance that 1 in 10 would have COVID. If I went to my mom's off in Pompano Beach, 60% chance that 1 in 10 would have COVID. If I went to my brother's in Atlanta, Georgia, 67% chance that 1 in 10 would have COVID. These are 4 totally different parts of the country, and your odds of getting it are better than a coin flip in all of them. Now, I hope that there's something about your area or about your family that means that you'll be better protected. But are you willing to risk your own health and the health of the people that you love on that chance, on that coin flip?
And in regard to staying emotionally stable and as happy as you can possibly be at such a difficult time, especially during the holidays, I've kind of learned to, instead of focusing on what I'm gonna be missing out on, right? Spending time with people I love or enjoying the holidays with people I love, try to look at the positives. So, hey, maybe you don't need to see the in-laws this holiday season. Just a little. No, and I love my in-law. I'm not talking for me. I'm just like, obviously. I know that other people, have issues, and so you can avoid it. It's all about what you choose to focus on. That's all I'm saying.
And you know what? You may think, well, I love getting together in a big group because then I can make tons of food. Well, let me blow your mind. You can still make tons of food for just you and one other person. I'm gonna.
Yes, you can. So buy.
I didn't buy a smaller box of stuffing. I bought the same exact amount of stuffing, but now there's only 2 stomachs, and honestly, my wife doesn't eat that much. So
I get so giddy when I think about Thanksgiving. Like I love cooking. I love eating. I love being in my pajamas all day.
Yes.
Not having no makeup, no hair, no nothing. I'm just. You can still enjoy the holidays while social distancing. Just stay safe, guys. Be responsible, stay safe, and try to ignore the poor example that we're seeing from our elected officials. Do what's necessary to keep yourself and your loved ones safe.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.